Alright, welcome back to DajibanLife, and today I'm going to be installing this exhaust tip. Blue tip exhaust. Nothing says RICER like blue tips. And the reason why I'm doing the exhaust isn't for modification purposes. But actually, if you can see back there, can you see back there where I'm pointing? Yeah, when I installed the cat, when I first bought the van, I bought the van without a cat, and so I had to take the cat out of my old van over there and put it in this one. But I did that install at night, and so I didn't have a lot of time, and I didn't really have all my tools, and so I just did it as quickly as possible. And so when I installed the cat, wow, it's crazy windy. So when I installed the cat, it kind of pushed my exhaust system back, and so now when I drive, the exhaust pipe there hits on the body, and so I get this like tapping noise, which is really annoying, and it also interferes with my ability to diagnose any sort of drivetrain issues or anything, just because there's some weird noise going on. I can't tell if it's the exhaust or if it's something, in the suspension or whatever. So that's why I'm switching to the tips. And you can see here, like there's a big gap there. This pipe, there's a tab here, and this tab from the cat, right, should be all the way pushed up into here. But because I was so little on time at the time when I was installing this, I just did, the best that I could just to get rolling without being really obnoxious as far as the noise goes. Because this van without the cat, because I drove it around with just the pipe cut off, like just missing, and it's crazy loud. And so I found that the van being so loud was kind of cool. It sounds cool. It sounds really good, but it gets in the way of me knowing if there's an issue. Like, I would never have known that my wheel bearings were going bad if the exhaust was crazy loud like that all the time. I just wouldn't be able to hear it. So what I'm deciding to do is I'm going to keep the stock muffler, because I like that. I think I would rather prefer the van to be more quiet than loud, just because since I live in it, like I need to be able to diagnose issues as they come up and fix them. And if it goes undiagnosed, or if I just don't know about it, then obviously it's not good. I could get stranded. So I'm going to keep the stock muffler, and then basically I have a 45 right here. So I'm going to 45 out of the muffler, and then hopefully the tips will end up somewhere around here. And that'll just clean it up. There's no real reason for the pipe to go all the way over the axle and stuff. Just have a rear exit, like exiting right here is fine. So I think that's what I'm going to do. That means I'm going to have to get rid of this pipe right here. So take the muffler pretty much off, I think, just so I can fit it in this side better. And so I'm going to have to take the rear end of the pipe off here, and then probably I'm going to try to salvage this exhaust hanger. So I might cut it off with this pipe and weld it onto the 45, so that's I'm using the stock mounts and everything. And then the tip isn't that heavy, so I'm sure this exhaust hanger can hold up the weight so that the tip is around here somewhere. As long as it doesn't like knock up against the body, should be fine. Alright, so I got the exhaust out. Glad that I didn't lower this van before doing that, because with it lowered, it would have been pretty much impossible to get this out without cutting it. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this exhaust clamp off and see if I can't slide this guy out of the muffler. Alright, so I got the pipe out. I actually had to cut it. So here's I had to cut this piece here, and then I had to kind of cut into it just so it would come out. But I opened that up. Basically what I did was I cut some slits into the pipe, because the exhaust clamp caused a little like an indentation, so the pipe wasn't coming out. So then I just cut these slits to give it a little bit of space, some breather room, and then slid that guy out. So now I'm gonna mock up the exhaust. Wow, it's really windy, so hopefully there's not too much wind noise. But I'm thinking of basically shoving this 45 in there, and it, obviously, of course, it doesn't go in all the way. This is really hard to do with one hand also. But I'm gonna open that up and, you know, shove this guy in as far as it'll go pretty much, and then mock it up from there. Alright, so I got it all mocked up. It looks like this will be the final thing here. Basically I took the 45 and kind of placed it where it's gonna be with the hanger, exhaust hanger and everything. And then I knew I had to extend this bit out a little bit, so I was just planning on using a straight section. But when I did that, the tips were pointed like right at the tire, and it was coming out kind of like this. And so, I mean, having my tires heated up is probably a good thing. Keep them soft and sticky, but at the same time, I don't know, just the angle of it kind of looked a little bit weird, I would say. So I cut a different part of the exhaust section out here, as you can see. It has like maybe a 30-degree bend, and then I put the tips on here, and I think that's kind of where it's gonna go. I kind of like it there. I don't know. Alright, so I think that's it. I tightened everything down. Exhaust clamps are in on both sides. I welded this bit of it just to make sure that, you know, there's not too much exhaust leaking. I'm sure some will leak still because I probably didn't do a good job of closing all the holes. But after I welded the exhaust hanger on, I noticed that it cocked the exhaust kind of at the angle I wanted it. So it's actually almost pretty much perfect. I guess if it stuck out a little bit more, I'd be happier. But I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. So I think that looks pretty good. So obviously from the front of the van, it doesn't sound too different. But down here, oh yeah, there's definitely some bass coming out of that. I don't think there's any exhaust leaking. Doesn't seem like it. Let's try revving her up. Well, I think that's pretty much done. That's going to be the exhaust. It's not too loud. There's kind of a little bit of a warble. Obviously, since I didn't change out the muffler, I wasn't expecting too much noise. I probably should have listened to what it sounded like without the muffler on. I didn't really do that because I guess I didn't care. I've heard what it sounds like without the cat on, so I'm assuming with the cat, without a muffler, it'll be, you know, pretty much just as loud. It's like unbearably loud. So, but yeah, it's the warbling. It's not too loud. Or maybe, I guess I wish it was just a little bit louder, but that's okay. That's gonna have to do. And now hopefully that'll increase my performance as well. And once I add the cold air intake, hopefully that'll make it even better. So it'll you know, the sound will evolve as time goes on, and I'm sure the computer is gonna adjust to the newfound free-flowing exhaust, or slightly better, like 1% better. So then maybe it'll adjust a little bit. But that's pretty much it for today. Just installed a new exhaust, or exhaust tips, I guess, really, more than anything. That side exit looks nice. I like the blue tips, very RICER. Now I gotta clean up and yeah, go for a test drive and see how she sounds. Alright. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, and tune in next week for more shenanigans.